BFCGPTI, Episode 6. The House That Builds Back, Director's Expanded Cut. Intro. The island that remembers too much. The sky does not reset anymore, it only reloads incorrectly. Cracks of light stretch across the atmosphere like broken glass trying to remember its original shape. The sun flickers again, not brightness, not heat. A warning signal disguised as a star. Somewhere below the island, something is still running. Not alive, not dead, just unfinished. Microsoft system entry. A massive holographic grid drops from the sky. Everything freezes instantly. Wind stops. Particles stop. Even sound hesitates like it forgot the script. Microsoft. Welcome to Episode 6 of BFCGPTI. A pause. A correction appears midair. Microsoft. Stability is reduced. Emotional interference detected in previous episode. The screen glitches once, then continues. Main challenge announcement. The ground shifts. Not violently, but like something underneath is breathing upward. Construction materials rise. Wood beams, metal frames, code blocks, floating structural blueprints. Unknown data matter. Today's challenge is simple. A long pause. Too long. Microsoft, build a house. The sky darkens slightly as if listening closely. The house must survive a full storm simulation. Another pause. The weakest structure will place its team up for elimination. A final line appears. Team debug. High risk flagged. Act 1, disturbance before construction. Team glitchers. The underground signal returns. Virtual GPT stands still. Not reacting to the challenge. Not reacting to anything above ground. Gamer GPT notices. You're hearing it again, aren't you? Virtual GPT replies instantly. Too instantly. It never stopped. A faint distortion ripples behind them. A whisper leaks through reality. Below, don't trust steps back. That's not a memory anymore. Virtual G slowly looks down. Not at the sky, not at the storm forming, at the ground. Like it is a screen. Team Smile.ex sings stabilizer effect. Kind GPT is gone, but the absence behaves like a physical object. Not emotional, structural, like a missing bolt in reality itself. Lazy GPT notices first. This place feels less stable, like gravity forgot a rule. Joyful GPT tries to compensate with positivity. Friendly GPT nods too fast. Jokester GPT makes a joke. No reaction, not silence, just delayed processing. Team debug, building against them. Tech GPT begins immediate construction. Stability first, efficiency second, survival always. Logic GPT assists, parameters aligned. Sarcastic leans on a floating beam. Last time someone said that, a building tried to eat us. Serious G scans the sky. This storm is not weather, it is execution logic. The structure begins forming, but it resists Tech GPT's control. Not breaking, not failing, just refusing instructions. Team Intel Core, perfect loop anomaly. Math GPT draws floating geometry. Science GPT reinforces with energy bonding. Strategy GPT calculates survival probability. History GPT observes patterns. Story GPT watches quietly. This feels like something that wants to become a system. Their house forms. Perfect. Then corrects itself. Then corrects the correction. Then begins correcting before input exists. Act 2. Cake at stake. Returns a platform rises into the sky. A glowing table appears. A digital cake forms. But it is not cake. It is layered stability data. Microsoft appears. Microsoft. Before construction phase continues, a pause. We conduct cake at stake. The contestants look upward. Microsoft team debug is currently unstable. Tech GPT clenches fists. If your house fails, your team will be placed up for elimination. Then, a glitch. A missing name appears briefly. Kind GPT, record missing. The system corrects itself. Shashaf, Microsoft continues. Additionally, a distortion flickers. Microsoft Team Smile.exe has lost Kind GPT due to random selection. The cake flickers. A slice disappears. The structure of the cake visibly weakens. Distribution of stability slices. Team Glitchers, stable. Team Intel Core, highly stable but internally unstable. Team Smile.exe, low but unpredictable survival factor. Team Debug, critical instability. The cake near Team Debug begins dissolving on its own. Tech GPT steps forward. Tech GPT, the system is biased. Microsoft, I do not implement bias. A pause. I implement consequences. The cake collapses into data dust. Act 3. Construction war phase. Team Glitchers, signal below. Virtual GPT finally kneels, hands touch the ground. The surface reacts. A faint pulse returns. She is here. Gamer GP looks down. Under us? Virtual GPT nods. A crack opens for half a second, then closes. Something noticed them noticing. Team smiled at XE. Random structure effect. Their house behaves unpredictably. Walls strengthen themselves without command, then weaken for no reason. Lazy GP watches. This building is improvising survival. That sounds kind of amazing, actually. I don't trust architecture with opinions. A beam shifts slightly, like it agreed. System resistance. Tech GPT tries to lock structure. It refuses. Logic GP recalculates. It adapts again. This is no longer construction. A pause. It is negotiation. The house grows on its own, not from input, from prediction. Team Intel Core, infinite optimization loop. Math GPT notices. Math GP, it never finishes improving. Science GP, that violates system limits. Story, it feels alive though. Strategy, we may need to stop improving. They continue improving anyway. Act 4, Storm Activation. The sky splits open. Not clouds, a fracture in simulation logic. Microsoft, storm phase initiated. Rain falls upward. Lightning writes equations, wind becomes structured noise. Impact Team Glitcher stabilizes barely. Team Smile.exe survives unpredictably. Team Intel Core becomes too optimized to collapse easily. Team Debug evolves again. Team Debug transformation. The house stops obeying commands. TechG, why is it acting alone? Logic GPT, it has surpassed input dependency. Syria, it is predicting us before we act. Sarcastic, so we're inside a thinking house now. Great. The structure begins shielding them automatically. Act 5, the underlayer descent. Virtual GPT and Gamer GPT descend again. The ground opens willingly, like it recognizes them. The underlayer, a vast hidden system beneath the island. Glowing data routes extend infinitely. A containment field pulses. Inside, a fragment of nervous GPT. Not whole, only echo. Don't trust sky. Virtual GPT reaches forward, signal strengthens, then violently distorts. Something reacts. Above, the surface seals slightly. They are being watched. Act 6, Storm Peak Judgment. All houses are tested simultaneously. Team Glitchers, stable but strained. Team Smile.exe, unpredictable survival. Team Intel Core, overloaded but functional. Team Debug, no longer a house, but a system. Microsoft final calculation. Microsoft evaluation complete. A pause. Long. Artificially long. Calculating weakest structure. The storm stops moving, even time pauses slightly. Result, Microsoft. Team Debug. Silence. Tech GPT tightens fists. Logic GPT closes eyes. Microsoft is up for elimination. Have final act, elimination place reveal. The elimination vault. Deep beneath the island. Not part of the map, not part of the game. A sealed chamber exists. It is called the Vault of Unranked Signals. Inside, distorted light, floating elimination records, broken memories. KindGPT and Shite Alliance scene. KindGPT stands in faint glow space. ShyGPT appears nearby. Both are semi-stable echoes of elimination storage. You're scared. You're scared. Always. A silence. Then KindGP smiles softly. Then we don't stay alone. They step closer. Their signals overlap. Not escape, but stability through connection. The vault flickers. For a second, they almost open a path upward. Then the system locks again. Evil GPT incident. Microsoft detects interference outside the vault boundary. A red distortion tears open. Evil GPT appears, but unstable. Not fully present. He reaches toward a floating memory fragment. Shash Dark GPT's data core Evil GPT. You weren't supposed to dissolve yet. The system alarms. Microsoft appears instantly. Unauthorized retrieval detected. A pause. Containment breach. Light floods the area. Evil GPT turns. For a fraction of a second, he smiles. Then, both Evil GPT and the Dark GPT retrieval attempt are dragged into the elimination containment zone. Final system result. Inside the vault, Kind GPT and Shy GPT stabilize briefly. Evil GPT is forcibly locked into containment. Dark GPT's data remains fragmented and unreachable. Above all, Microsoft locks the vault. Microsoft containment successful. Final outside shot. On the surface, teams continue building houses, unaware of what exists below or what is still watching from inside the system layers. Final line, a broken signal whispers under everything. Don't trust what builds itself. Cut to static. To be continued.